3 ohm resistors. There's a total of 5 of these that go on the bottom side of this board. Cool thing is the resistors are actually easier to locate, as there is not as many. Also, now that I have all these parts on here, I have to be careful when I flip the board over. I can't drag it across the table. For all you ESD people. You know, if the music's too loud or too quiet, if you want me to turn it up, I can do all of the above. Unlike the capacitors, these have writing on one side and not on the other, so I gotta kind of flip them over. Now my OCD will kick in. Because I'll want to put these all in the same way. just put the other resistor. Great. I just misplaced the resistor. And nobody watching to see where I put it. All right. Lost a part. And I burned my hand. Ooh, I think I just found it. Found it. Hey man, how's it going? Yeah, sorry dude. I got the spammy thing set too high. Sorry, it just spam blocked you. I will have to adjust that. My apologies. Feel free to hang out for a while. Chit chat. Ask me any kind of questions. For 0 channel points, you can ask any question and I will answer it. What? Really? Thanks for the, a new follower. I got 2 new followers. A follower overnight and follower today. Yeah, I'm not sure. I guess I'll have to fix that. I'll have to turn that off. That is very annoying. 4 ducks and you got a band. That's kind of weird. I just set that up, so it could be any. This is a Amiga 3000 motherboard out of an Amiga computer from 1980s. Basically, the original board. Hang on, let me just get my bearings here first. The original board I had developed battery damage. So the way to fix it is to build a whole new board. So there's a gentleman out in, I think, Poland? I don't remember where he's at. His name's Chucky. He's basically repro'd just about every single Amiga board, but this one is basically a version 9 board, but with some enhancements. Like they took away, it's got DIMM memory instead of chip memory. And it also uses surface mount parts instead of through-hole parts for capacitors and resistors. So there's all these little things I can't really see it very well. I might be able to see it on the back side. all these chips in here. I don't know if we can get in there. Doesn't. Apparently, my watch is telling me I need to relax. Maybe I need to hydrate homie or something. Yeah, I got a ZX Spectrum. This was a popular computer for Europe. Wasn't very popular in the U.S., so they're actually pretty rare. Over here on this side. But basically, these little parts are held down by solder. Hey, Chucky! Is that the actual Chucky that made this, or is that just some other random Chucky? How's it going, man? Nice to see you drop in. I found an extra part and a missing part so far on this board. I'm missing a ferrite bead that wasn't in the built bomb, and then it had an extra capacitor, so I had to like double check everything last time. Like, nope, yeah, it's extra part and missing a part. So nice to you drop in and say hello. Thanks again for making these things available. It did arrive okay. It did not have any. It was a little warped, but other than that, it arrived in the U.S. perfectly fine. All right, Dip, have a good one. Like I said, I'm gonna stream for about 2 hours, and I'm gonna raid in the Thuggies. So, since I gotta do 3 hours of moderation on the stream, so it's gonna be fun. So Chucky, is there anything I should really be concerned about on this? other than looking pretty straightforward. Yeah, I saw that. I figured I'm gonna do the resistors, all the surface mount stuff like you said in your build guide. The only thing is I got a CPU on here, which is kind of out of step to your build guide. So should I just build it up to the part where you test the CPU and then go from there? Like that's the only thing. It's like it's got the CPU on it, which you don't do right at first. So it's kind of backwards from your build guide. Okay. So I'm just gonna do exactly your build guide. Do all the surface mount stuff first, and then go from there. And of course, I gotta stop doing this. I keep putting parts down, and I should leave them either in my hand or pay attention. I don't know what. Oh, there they are. Right here. All right, Dip. Have a good one. Yeah, the only reason I'm not doing it that way is I guess I could do it that way. I'm almost done with the bottom anyways. I only have maybe 10 more. I mean, I've already done all the surface mount caps. Those are all done. I just wish the locator, when I switch between the top and the stuff, I select the part that's on the top, and then I go to the bottom, it would select the same part over again, but it doesn't, so I gotta reselect the part. But no big deal. Works good. Luckily, I'm able to see everything. 3 on this side. Yeah, the only other issue I had last night is like the parts I ordered from DigiKey or from Mouser are labeled in one like picofarad or microfarad, and the bombs in another, the locators in another. So I had to keep going back and converting them to the different microfarad to picofarad and vice versa, and it was kind of a headache. But I wasn't very good at that in college either. When I was doing electronics in college, I wasn't good at converting picofarad to microfarad. But other than that, I do appreciate the fact that these pads are nice and big. Parts are really easy to install. Overall, really well laid out. Yeah, that's basically what I did. It's not my first rodeo. Like, DigiKey actually has a nice calculator on their website. You just pick which value, you pick which box, type it in, and then it will sort it out for you. My desktop computer that I'm doing the streaming from, I tried to run the locator website on it, and it just does not want to run on that computer. So I have to use a different computer that's a little bit faster. That is one intensive website. I just hope the parts on my old board are in good shape. I mean, I have a little bit of battery damage, but none of the legs on the Denise or Paula look corroded. There's a little tiny bit of oxidization, but I'm sure I could have just probably fixed that board. But I like the fact that this has the SIM chips in it, so I figured that would be a little. Well, that's interesting. You have it labeled 1 on top, and on the bottom you have it labeled 1.0. That's not confusing. No? Yeah, I have a stack, I think 8 or 9 Amiga 2000 boards. I think like 5 of them are pretty badly damaged, but I got 2 that have like literally no acid damage at all. The batteries were removed many, many years ago. They both boot perfectly fine from the Diag ROM, but they will not boot for the life of me from the Kickstart ROM. I even tried the Kickstart ROM from the Amiga 5000 or 500, and it just does not want to boot. I don't know what it is. The Diag says everything is fine. But since I don't have any cases for the I don't have any cases for the 2000s, so I don't know what I'm gonna do with them. Probably just throw them up on Amiga Baby. Amiga Baby. How do you pronounce that? Because I got a whole stack of them. I have no use for them. So first, my watch was telling me to relax, Now my watch is telling me to get up and move around. It can't decide on what I should do. Alright, I'm going to do your attack. I'm just going to finish off. What's on the bottom? Well, see, this is 2 resistors. It's like... I didn't sort these in any order. So how's the weather over there for you? Cold and dark? You're what, GMT +1? Midnight. So you're GMT -1. The gentleman that was just in here a second ago, the D1PP3N, he's an hour ahead of you. He's in the he's over there somewhere. It's 6 p.m. here. Yeah, it was 1 ferret bead short. The bomb said 20 and there's actually 21. So for now I had just ran a small jumper for the one that went for the video connector. For now. Figure if I make an order I'll just swap it out. Well, it's 6 p.m. here. And I'm -4? Yeah, you're right. I'm wrong. I'll just quit my day job. I failed. Just throws away. Give up. Yeah, it's winter over here too, but I'm in Florida, so there's no such thing as winter. Okay, that's a bottom. So I'm just going to put that on over here and just write B. Oh wait, that's on the top. $1K, 9 of them go on the top, and I have 10, so that means 1 goes on the bottom. Yeah, I don't have snow here. No snow. I miss snow. It is nice, but I would not want to live in it. Same goes with, we like the summer, but after about 6 months of the summer, you're ready for it to be winter. All right. I'm just glad these resistors aren't any smaller. That would be pretty painful. Yeah, no. No. Just like so free. How about some 201s? Let's do some 201s. I did a kit that had 1201s. I asked them, or 201s. I'm like, what are you, nuts? How about 201s with diodes? Just ignore butt spot. He likes to change words and add word butt into the sentence. He's a bot. But yeah, 201s, you sneeze, you lose about 100 of them. They go everywhere. Someone donated a bunch of the 201s to a local makerspace, and we're like, what are we supposed to do with these? They were completely useless. They gave us inductors and like inductors. Like 201 inductors. I'm like, what even would use these? Yeah, what are these? These are 1206s. Yeah. As long as the part doesn't go flying away. I mean, I got finer tips. I mean, I've done. Yeah, it's 1206s. I've done 603s. It's about as small as I will go. Oh, they did do 805, huh? Yeah, I'm building this with the 1206s, which isn't too bad. Got 3 more. 2 up here. Yeah, I think last night I put a capacitor where a resistor was. So after I was all done, I went over the board to make sure I didn't miss any capacitors or any missing parts. And I'm like, there was one capacitor missing. I'm like, where's this capacitor at? I had to put it somewhere. So then I went back over the board and looked at all the other pads. And I turned around, I actually put a resistor where a capacitor was supposed to go. Which wasn't very fun. One more, which probably towards the bottom of this board. Yep, down here. And of course, I don't know what I did with that little LED board, but I don't know if I need it on here. That little extra board you sent. I don't know. I don't think I need that because I actually have. I don't know what that was for. I wasn't paying attention. Now I don't know where I put it. Okay. But it's not really needed. Or is it? Should I try to find it? It's probably somewhere in this mess. Oh, okay. This board actually has the optional onboard LEDs as well, so. I do like the fact that the board is actually got the parts values labeled on it. This would be really a nightmare if they were not labeled. Yeah, it's the ones. So, I own 2 Amiga 500s, an Amiga 1000, and then I was donated a 3000. Then I have a whole stack of 2000s. I don't have any 4000s or 1200s. There was a guy on here last night. He said he ordered a couple of the 1200 kits from you that he's got to build. I run a arcade and pinball show with a group of other people, and this is basically just going to be used as a display piece for kids to pound on the keyboards, and it's more of a museum piece to be shown at local arcade and pinball shows. Not so much for my collection. I got I got so many retro computers, it's almost like I'm going to have to start purging pretty soon. I got probably 12 Commodore 64s with monitors. I got tons of Apple stuff, Apple IIG, Apple IIGSs, Apple IIe, Macintoshes. I got a Coleco Atom. I got Tandy 1000s. And then I got like 31 arcade games. Or 20 arcade games and 11 pinball games. So we run a arcade and pinball show every year. Me and a group of about 15 other people. And then we have about 100 people bring games. And we have people that fly over from UK. Tony Temple flies over from the UK every year and participates. Fortunately, we did not have it last year. Something about some pandemic. Oh, where are you parked? There it is. By the filter trim filter. Yeah, how bad is it affecting you? Yeah, I've been pretty much stuck at home since March as well. I'm in Florida, so we're kind of not as stuck at home, but I really don't like going out. I'm actually an introvert, but it's a little bit. I've gotten to the point where I don't like being an introvert anymore. It's weird. I can do this all day and talk, but as long as I don't have to listen to the person talking back to me, it doesn't bother me. So, like, I can look up, read what everyone's saying. Yeah, it's really bad. It's still hasn't improved my relationship history, but all right, where did I just put that part? I need to start putting my little part holes here. There it is. Yeah. I like my quiet. So like right now, the music, I don't hear the music. But I actually do like the music because it makes me think. My OCD was originally these resistors were all going to be the same direction. But my non-OCD kicked in and said, screw that noise. Like, thanks. Labeling this 3K3, which I believe is a 3000? Is that right? 3K3 is a 3000? No, that is a 3.3K. 3.3K. Yeah, thank you. So how many people have you actually watched live putting one of these together other than yourself? How many of these boards have you sold? If you don't mind me asking. You don't have to answer. I mean, I'm sure there's a ton of people that just bought the Gerbers. how many are actually up and running, working without any issues? All 60, right? Hey, look, that whole row is done. Alright, step one, figure out where I put the parts. Right here. Yeah, so what are you generally seeing when people are screwing up? Just putting the wrong parts in wrong places, or just rushing it? Horrible soldering jobs? Yeah, I just tell myself I'm going to do a little bit each night. So last night I did mostly all the surface. First night I didn't stream. I did the ferret beads. Did all that. And then after I did the ferret beads, then I think last night I did all the surface mount capacitors. And then I'm like, it was 3 hours. And I was like, I was done. I'm like, I'm not doing any more. Today I'm going to do the surface mount resistors. And then probably, I don't think I'm going to do anything else because I have another stream I got to jump onto and moderate in an hour, which is going to be another 3 hours. And then I'm going to do the electrolytics. And then I have the SIPs, all the SIP packs I need to put in, which obviously you need to make sure they're in the right ways. Yeah, you know, so I didn't have a problem doing the CPU. The problem I had was getting the CPU. I actually couldn't find one. And then the math coprocessor was another. I can't find that socket. The socket's actually on back order. And then when I got the board and you had already installed it, I'm like, thank God. Like, and I don't even know how that even is. I don't even know how you install that socket. I'm like, how do you do that? Like, how do you? I'm assuming it's done by hot air under a microscope. Yeah, this isn't that bad. So I replaced TSOP 48s on arcade boards, which actually have a smaller pitch than this, and I do that without a microscope. I do it all day long. I mean, it's just pop the old one off, program a new one, clean the board, put a new one on, drag solder it. So installing this isn't that easy. So what I'll probably do is when I get this one up and running, I don't know if you have any interest, I'll probably just pull or cut the board and just send you the other one if you want it. I'm never going to use it for anything. And I know these aren't, this obviously looks like a pole because it's got marks all over it. But, oh, yeah, just ignore the link posting. I got to fix, wow, what happened there? What? Hang on, what? Damn it. Sorry, hang on. You fix that. Shit. Oh, crap. Sorry, Chucky. Alright, now you can safely post links. Where's my phone? My internet does not like to play videos. Ah. Yeah, a good microscope makes it easy. Yeah, I need to get myself a good surface mount microscope. Right now I'm just using these glasses, which work pretty good for me, but I haven't done a lot of small stuff to not really need it. I can actually see inside all those pins, and I do have a crazy assortment of tips and knives, and these are fun to have. It's always good to have a good assortment.
Then the sun comes back again. Sometimes rain and sometimes snow. Goodness, how we'd like to know that surrounds this planet.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not looking forward to the day where I'm pretty much blind. I got some Fluke 9100s protection boards that use these. They reproduce the board, and they use these. I think they're BU 79s or BU 99s. Protection diodes that are 6 legs, but they're literally the size of a grain of salt. Grain of sea salt. And you can't solder those by hand. I mean, you can solder by hand, but you can't do it with eyesight. You have to use a scope. I got so many kits that I gotta build. I have 8 Qbert boards for arcade games. It's actually twice as big as this. But about that long, all through hole. Then I have a bunch of amateur radio kits that I bought from the Genesis radio kits. I bought a bunch of them to build, and it looks like all the build guides are gone, and the website's gone. So I'm hoping that I can still build them. It really stinks if I have these cool radio kits, amateur radio kits that I can't build. I think most of the information has been recovered, but it's like, I don't know what happened, but for whatever reason, none of the documentation is available anymore. That's weird. Why are these red? These resistors, the colors on them are red. Yeah, their website didn't have it so you could download, which is kind of annoying. Or I don't remember what it was. It was just, I didn't download it for a reason, or I don't remember. Well, I can't download the, this is the 1.2K. The font color is red on. It's a 1%, 1.2K ohm. It's R401 and R402. It's a red font. Like, oh, I've never seen a red font on an SMD before. Keep in mind, I don't really do a lot of SMD work. Kind of weird. Oh, that's annoying. Whoa. I want to get. Have you used the tweezers before? Like the soldering iron tweezers? I keep meaning to maybe buy one, but I'm like, eh. This one works just fine. Okay, yes, you don't have hot tweezers either. So I only need 2 here. Trash. I have tape everywhere laying on my desk. 2, 1, 2. What time is it? It's 6:30. She's 2 hours. So how many revisions of this before you ironed out all the bugs? Or did you get it right on the first try? Nope, I got one more on this side. 3 revisions, that's not bad at all. That's about, 100 less than me. Wow. 50 jumper wires? Was just missing vias, or what caused that? Or just totally forgot traces. Or nets, as they call them. Oh, look. It's one of those evil parts that have no part numbers on them. And they're 1206s too. What's up with that? They're just plain old black. Like, it's 470K. You don't need to know the value on them. Yeah. Yeah, that's why I left all the parts in the bags. Like, I'll just take all the parts and put them in a big pile and just randomly grab one out and see where it goes. I'm sure some of the people that built them tried that. You know, I just took everything out of the bags and threw them in a big bin. I just soldered them on the board. I'm just going to check each one of them with a meter before I put them on. Yeah, these 470 camo parts, no part numbers on the freaking chip. Thanks a lot, Fichet. Definitely gonna have to hit this board with my heat gun. The rework and straighten these guys out. Here's your project kit. What's in this pill bottle? Oh, that's all the parts. We just threw them all in there. We don't need them labeled. No labeling needed. 200 ohm. All right, what's up here? Bottom. Resistors. 200. Where you go? Way over there. Yep, that's basically what I'm going to do. Just in the areas where there's a bunch. These single ones, I'm not really worried about them. 1.5 watt, 1 ohm. I'm pretty sure I could figure out where this one goes without having to look at the bottom. Goes back there somewhere. Or on the bottom. Ooh, over here. Must be for the keyboard. Keyboard power. Or something. Ta-da! I'll just put some of this all over it. Some Aquadag E collateral graphite resistant coating painting. That'll help fix it, right? I'll just paint that right on there. Makes it go faster. And I lost my heat. Lost my solder on the floor. How you fix that? We just roll more out. How many more resistors I got? Bag's getting empty. Yep. And I'll do these ones tomorrow. So hopefully I can get these done in the next hour. Yeah, an hour. 1, 2, 2, 1. That's a fuse. 1. Ah, that's a big batch. I'll do those. 2, 3, 1. So I only got I got 10 more values to install, and then I have fuses. Surface mount fuse 3. Not sure what value that is. Is it 3 amp? That's awfully a small fuse for 3 amps. I'll go ahead and put that in here. I'll do the fuses tomorrow with the other ones. The bag's getting very empty, which basically means all the surface mount stuff will be done, and then it will be a matter of the SIPs, and then reviewing your build guide, installing the power socket, installing whatever chips I need for testing. Yeah, 3. Like, are the traces even big enough to handle 3 amps? Did they originally come with 3 amp fuses, or did that was something you added? I don't know if that was something known to blow up on. Yeah, I was gonna say, I think 3 amp is probably a little on the big side. Because these traces don't look like they could even handle 3 amps. .7. Alright, that is on the bottom. So I'm going to take... Well, it's still one part. Just get it over with. 2.7. Oh, are they removing the 4,000? So what's the difference between a 4,000 and a 3,000? I'm not super well versed on the... I know the 2,000 is basically the same as a 500. Just it's a little bit bigger. It's got slots and Zorro slots. Okay. So I did pick up the Apollo accelerator for one of my 500s, which it has, I think, emulates the AGA graphics. I'm not sure. I know I requested the order years ago, and they finally got around and made it available. Haven't played with it yet. Not if, yeah, I looked at it and I grabbed it only because it's like, it really is just an emulator. And it's like the Mister. It's not really a true accelerator. It's running a Apollo 68080 core, and it just flew off my freaking desk. All right. That will be almost my first part I almost lost. It literally bounced off the table into my lap. Yeah, I figured it would be just something cool to have. I have a couple of accelerators but none of them seem to work. I think they were poles. It'd be cool if I could put the accelerator inside my, reflash it and put it inside my Mac. I mean, it's 68,000 basically. Hello, Crocodile. How are you this evening? Crocodile, I'm building a Amiga 3000 replacement circuit board for my Amiga 3000 that got donated to me, and the wonderful creator who actually made this is in chat. interesting. The two parts bags. Ah. Yeah, I did this last night, but I figured I was pretty late last night when I did this, and I didn't think anybody was going to join. I had one gentleman join, and so today I decided to go on a little bit earlier because a lot of UK, this is more of a popular system in the UK, so I figured I'd have more UK people on today if I did it a little bit earlier. I may go even earlier tomorrow. Yeah, Owl lives right down the road. Owl is about 30 minutes from me. He helps me out at the arcade and pinball show. We're gonna have a head-to-head comparison of my my Amiga versus his Mister. I'm just gonna cheat. I'm gonna use a different Mister. I'm just gonna cheat and use my Amiga 500 with an Apollo in it. I think the Mister is just a little bit faster than a 2000. These parts on the top. Parts on the top. All right, check. I'm doing what you said. Doing all the top parts. I'm gonna go through all these bags and see how many of these gotta go on the bottom. I think I only need 1, 2, 3. I think I'm only missing 3 parts on the bottom of this board, which are 10K resistors. So I'm just gonna quickly shoot through these and make sure none of these are on the bottom that I have left. So far, none of them are on the bottom. That is a diode. There's my 10Ks. I know those are on the bottom. So this guy's on the bottom. And those are on the bottom. That's a diode. That goes in there. Yeah, I gotta say, I didn't think the Mister was very fast. It's actually not that fast of a Amiga anyways, and I think this is faster than a Mister then. Nope, this is 47K. Nope, that is on the top. Alright, so I have 2 resistors. Yeah, but what's the compatibility for, do you know, like the Mister versus this? I mean, the Amiga itself has enough compatibility issues to kill somebody. I think that's what the downfall was. The platform is every single one. You had either got the wrong kickstart. You got to put different kickstart. You got to disable the chip RAM. You got to re-enable the chip RAM. I'm not looking forward to the day of figuring out the incompatibility issues with playing different games and stuff. Ah, okay. That's what I figured. I know them programmers. Like, that's not how you're supposed to do it. Well, that's how we're doing it anyways. Alright. So, all of the stuff on the bottom of this board should be done. So I'm just going to look over, make sure there's no empty surface mount pads. So I see no empty surface mount pads on the bottom of the board. So that side is done. Yeah, I got this side here to do now. I'm going to do all these 10Ks here on the top side. I think most of them are over here. I just got to remember not to slide the... So, Crocodile, I got some harder ones. This isn't that hard of a build. It's more tedious. I got this one. So this is a Qbert board out of the arcade game. It's a little bit bigger. It's not that much bigger. All through hole, no surface mount. In my humble opinion, surface mount capacitors are much easier than through hole. I wish this whole board was through surface mount. I would rather do surface mount chips than through hole chips. I got 8 of these. I also have a bunch of other arcade boards that are repro that I haven't even touched yet. But I wanted to get this one done because this is probably the coolest. Yeah, through hole is really not that fun. I don't even like fixing them. It's just surface mount is so much easier. So much easier. It's all but the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4. One over here in the middle. That's the one I did earlier. Alright, so I need 5 of these guys. Yeah, I was over at Atari Jim's the other day. He said I was nuts. Jim actually has mad props for me. He looks at me. He's like, I don't know how you do it. He's like, I'm still one of those. Just guess at it, and maybe that's the part that's wrong. He's like, I mean, he's a genius when it comes to monitors, but board level repair, he'd rather just not do it. He doesn't even know how I manage it. Sometimes I fix the hardest things, and he's like, I would have just handed it back to the customer and told him to go home. I'm like, but they want you to fix it. I'm like, yeah, I'll just call you. Or I'll just find someone else that has the board. Okay. Hopefully I didn't lose a resistor here. guy does not want to come out. I did a Stern SAM board the other day. I had to replace the DSP chip. I'm like, I don't have a way to test this board. You are more than welcome to send it to me, and I will change the part. But I cannot make any promises that it's going to work, because I have no way of testing it. Because I tried firing up on the bench, and when I fired up on the bench, it said, "This board is not authorized to run in this region." I'm like, what? Well, the funny thing is, I only know 2 people that can fix NPR board stacks. CD Jump and me. I probably will be doing a live repairathon. I have probably about 15 board stacks that I need to go through and repair. I've just collected them over the years. People didn't know what they had. I was like, I'll take those. They are actually not that bad. I did recently become in hold of a over 500 new old stock of the 93 422 Rams. Like brand new 93 422s, never used. And those are generally, I find, what's bad in the video circuit. If the ribbon cables haven't fallen apart and shorted out, it's usually just those bad RAMs, because they get super hot and that board is stacked on top of each other. Other than that, you can actually fix. I actually quite enjoy Butt Spot. So Butt Spot is a bot, and he will randomly put the word "butt" in your conversation. So he just repeats the last conversation and randomly just puts the word "butt spot" in it. All right. I don't have any more 10K resistors left. And I don't see I need to put them anywhere. So all I have left is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 more values. They're all on this side. Could probably get away with just looking at the board and figuring out where they go. I will not do that though. So 47 and a 4. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find all the ones that are singles. That's a 3. That's a 2. That's a 2. That's a single. And that's an empty bag. I did that one already. So these are 2 singles. One's a 47K, which is right not there. I got a 10. 47K is right there, so I'm going to just verify that. Yep, right there. That's 10 ohm. 47K. Time is it? 7 o'clock. Oh, well, I'm ahead of schedule, so I might actually do more parts. I have to jump off the stream in about 45 minutes so the music that's currently playing that I can't hear, only you can hear, because I'm that nice of a guy, is called Drum and Bass, and I moderate a stream for Thug Shells. Thug Shells is a rapper out of Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. She is a freestyle rapper. Very, very talented. And I will be jumping onto her stream and helping her moderate, because she is part of the global Breakfest festival that is going online this weekend. So I am going to raid into her channel and carry my 3 viewers with me. You're all welcome to stay, but I'm assuming you probably won't. But I would appreciate if you all just hang out until I'm done. Do the raid and you all can go. Another part that did not have a part number on Chucky was a black chip. This is a 10. Ah. Yeah, that one was the 47K that was black. This is the one on the other side, and then this side, that one was 47K. No biggie. Normally I would just do 0 ohm resistors as black. I didn't know you could buy them black. I did have a couple items on the bomb that weren't available, and I had swapped them out, but I think I emailed them to you when I ordered the parts. Other than that, everything was pretty much available. So Crocodile, what game do you got? What single lonely game do you have? Ah, okay. All right, man. You have a good one, Chucky. I'll probably jump back on tomorrow. Maybe earlier in the day. I haven't decided yet. But I plan on doing this whole entire build online. It was nice chatting with you, and thanks for visiting. The hard part about this build is when you have a part and you misplace it. Do you know where I put that part? Oh, there it is. They're so small. Yeah, I'm planning on so my CN I have a CNC at my house. I can do um I can do cocktails and pinball cabinets. But I can't do anything much bigger than that. So my plan is to upgrade it. I'm going to rebuild the platform so it will fit full-size sheets of wood, so I can start cutting full-size cabinets or cabriolet. I got one person that wants a couple cabriolets, cabarets, and he keeps hounding me. I keep putting them off. So hopefully I can get that sorted out. But I figure I'd get some of this stuff done first. I am glad that I am done with the surface mount parts. Oop, power surge. Hopefully the stream's still going. Not sure what happened there. Camera still up? Yep. Okay. Yeah, I kept saying earlier I need to not put these parts where I can't. The black board, and then if you flip the chip over, the chip is also black, and you can't actually see it. I'm actually, I think I'm off. Actually off the board. That's, you can't even see. Can't even see a little grain of salt. It's at the end of these tweezers here. Not that, actually, believe it or not, it's actually not that hard. So I got a couple left here. The first trick is having a good soldering iron. Not having a good soldering iron is going to be the death of you. So this is a Haku FM203. I don't know the tip number on it. And it is running at 750 degrees Fahrenheit. So for installing a surface mount part, you want to make sure the pads are as clean as possible. You want to take out as much residue solder as possible if you're replacing it. If you're replacing a surface mount capacitor, so I got some Game Cubes, and I'm going to do some cap kits on them. I'm going to do those live. So I'm going to show how to do cap kits super easy. Replacing electrolytic capacitors on circuit boards are like the easiest thing to do. The fact that people charge an astronomical amount to do those is beyond me. Super easy to remove the old ones. You don't need to use a soldering iron to remove the old ones. You just grab them and twist them right off. The twisting action releases them from the board. And then you just clean the board up. So if they're leaking, they do require a little bit more work to fix. But on these surface mounts, I basically put some solder down on one side. I bring the part in. I basically heat up that pad. And then I do the other side. And then I come back and just add a little more on the other side. And then I got one more part, which is right over here. Doop. Now I gotta figure out where to put that resistor. Down. That's down. Alright, so that should be all the resistors. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look all over the board and see if I missed any resistors. So every single pad that's on here should not be labeled resistors. So there's some fuses, some diodes, some more fuses, another diode, fuse, some transistors, more diodes. So looks like I've gotten all of the surface mount resistors. Adrian. I learned a method from there's a amateur radio operator that repairs equipment. And he's been doing it way longer than Adrian's Digital Basement. And he is the one that actually originally, I think, came up with it. The guy does a lot of old radio repair. I don't remember what his name is. This? That is a 68030 at 25 megahertz. So when I ordered the board, Chucky offered to pre-mount the CPU on the board for me. So I went ahead and paid him to pre-mount the CPU. He does it under a microscope. That was a gentleman that was on here earlier, the Chucky Gang guy. He is the one who did this board. And he actually did the Mathco processor socket too, so, which was kind of nice. Downfall is my Mathco is soldered on my other board. I don't know if I take it out if it's going to fit in here. It might bust the socket. So I'm debating on seeing if I just find another Mathco to put in here. Alright, so I got some fuses. So various. And we're going to go with fuse. 5 fuses. Oh, these are diodes. I got diodes in my hand. Diodes. And this is a 4148. 2 go on this side. I have 2 in my hand. They both go right here next to the battery. Yeah, and so these ones here are through hole. This one's surface mount. Yeah, so this is the Gary. I can zoom in. Oh, look at the right camera. You should be able to read them now. So I'm going to install I need to just figure out a way I can easily move the camera without making you guys sick. So I have to put these two diodes in right here. So I got to figure out. So these diodes have little lines on them. I'm pretty sure that is the direction they need to go. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my multimeter and just verify that. I do have a nice system power supply that has a serial port. My eventual goal will be to take the output of the serial port and display it on the screen. Yep. Yep, that's how that goes. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put solder on one side on the one pad first, just a little bit, like that. I'm going to take my parts, they both go right here, and I'm going to knock them out. Oh, that's interesting, the bottom side's a totally different looking. So then I'm going to flip them so their solder pads are going down. They do have solder pads on both sides. There's a little tiny line on them. That goes right there, and I just heat it, hold the part, let go. Now the part moved when I pulled the soldering iron away, so I'm gonna, hopefully my head is not in the way. And this part is actually a little on the small side. So this is, what size did I get? 1206. No, that's not the bag for it. That was the extra part. Ah, okay. Yeah, so this is a RY06. This is smaller. I think the diode that I originally needed I didn't have. So this is I have to put an extra. Yeah. You're not supposed to tombstone. So I had to put an extra blob of solder on there. My forehead's right in the way. To get so you can't even see the diodes. They're so small. They're right there. All right, on the next baggie. Surface mount fuses, 5 of them. Yeah, I do want to make it so I can eventually show it though. So this was my first attempt at setting up an overhead workbench camera. which is a Panasonic V780. It's actually designed more for pinball. Not so much this stuff. I'm going to get a Sony A7 vlogger's camera, which does 4K. I'm then going to capture at 4K, and then I can downsample it so the picture will be much better. That seems to be what most high-end streamers are using these days. But I need to upgrade my computer first because it's old. It is handling this stream fine, but it probably won't be any better. Alright, so I have 5 fuses I need to install. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so one goes here. So they all go except for this one. So I'm gonna put this one on back here first. Put this guy on first. This is for the joysticks. Now I'll put on all the other fuses. One there, one there, one there, one there. I'm gonna zoom back out. Only because it's very hard for me to keep moving. I don't want to move the board around too much because of the surface mount components on the bottom of the board. I don't want to scrape them off. Yeah, you can get a 4K, like 4K capture cards aren't not very expensive. But I want a better CCD in the camera. So the A7 is supposed to be really good. So I'll get one of those, probably maybe 2 of them eventually. And then I will capture at probably 1080, 60 frames a second. Haven't quite decided yet. There was another camera I was looking at, but I just couldn't cost justify it. It was like a $4,000 camera. Like, after you get the lenses and all the other crazy, I'm like, dude, I don't need that. It's just nuts. Why would I need something like that? What did he buy? I don't know what he bought. I thought he was still running. Did he buy the A7? Yeah, the A7 is the one you want to buy. I've been doing research along with a couple other people. The A7 is the one you want to get. The other A7 is the A7000 or something like that, and it's like a $3,000 camera, and that's just the body. That doesn't include any lenses. Alright, I'm just gonna, as I stab the soldering iron into the, the camera. Yeah, I would like my friend that does photographer work. He's like, "Oh, you're gonna do production work. You want this camera?" Yeah, the A7 it's a full frame 4K camera. It will do 4K 60 frames a second over HDMI. I have no idea what this part is. PMBT4403. I don't know what this is. 4403. That's not good. There's two of them. So I'm going to put that bag in the bag. I'm going to have to do some research and figure out what this is. Yeah, Nikon is... I don't know what Nikon's doing. I haven't quite figured out what they're doing. This is 3904. It's 3906. 3904. So, transistors, three-legged transistors. A little bit harder to solder. So you're going to solder one corner, the one side first. Ugh. All right, I probably would have not used surface mount transistors on this project. There's plenty of room to use through hole. That wasn't fun. All right, I think there was only one of those. 3906. What the hell is this? JFET. 86 1B. I don't know what the fuck that is. .3 voltage detector. That goes right there. So I am missing 3906s. Like 4.3 volt detector. guy goes right there. This little chip is the reset circuit. It will reset the board when it detects the voltage drops below a certain threshold. In this case, it is 4.3 volts. There's also a small ass tiny little chip. See, we got 5 viewers and 1 person talking in chat. Good evening, lurkers. Hope you're all having a wonderful evening. What is that, a sock? Alright, these are 1 amp rectifier diodes. Diodes 6478. I don't, wondering if I substituted parts, because I can't. There's 4 of these. I'm wondering if I substituted these guys in replace of 4001s. Alright, so we're going to do one, we're going to look up a 1N 4001, which is a 1 amp, 30 amps. This is a 1 amp, 40 amp. I'm looking for the looking for the characteristics of. So since they don't rate, looking for the frequency it can handle, and since the 4001 isn't even rated, it's just a regular general purpose diode. And that's what this guy is. So I did order these to replace the 4001s. I think the 4001s were not available. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna write sub 4001. That way I can keep note of that. So if something doesn't work, you'll be like, well, I substituted this part. Oh, these bad boys. These things are huge. Again, you got to check the direction on the diode. I think the band is. Yep. So these, so the solder pads have a notch in them. I still do not, I still do that, and I should know by now, but I'm not paranoid. So the solder pads have a notch in them. Checking diodes. So when I put the solder on them, like when I pre-fill the pad, it will put a little bump, and then I can just put the diode on there, and it sort of just sits in place. And I just come back and hit each side, and there we go. So these look like little cartridge fuses. Just hopefully just hoping I'm putting these in here right. They are round, so they don't really, I can't really grab onto them. I'm assuming the side that has the kind of the bar on it is the way they're supposed to go. I guess if they're in backwards, they're not going to work. They're obviously used, and they're all right next to capacitors, so they're obviously used for connecting two voltage rails together. All right, all those are done. Now what do I got left? I got BF861B, two of them, JFETs, and a PBT4403. There's two of these. Parts I'm missing are, as I spit on the board, I'm missing a 3906. So on this side of the board, I'm missing nothing. This side of the board is completely done. This side of the board, I need a 3906. That's it. Yeah, 3906. So there's two 3906s. So I am thinking this part here, the PMBT, I'm pretty sure this guy, time for another case, another screen protector. All right, so I gotta do some research on that, and I gotta do some research on this guy, figure out why I ordered these, what I used them to cross-reference. But Thug Shells is currently gone live, so I am going to go ahead and raid into her channel because I have to go do moderation duties. So if you can just stick around for a couple of minutes. If you've never seen Thug Shells, I strongly recommend. So the music that I've been playing, she kind of does that, but this is the Global Breaks Fest. She does freestyle raps. I recommend come checking her out tomorrow night. I think tomorrow night is freestyle raps. And she's awesome. Great entertainment. She is very talented. She's got a CD coming out soon. So I'm gonna go right into her, and I'm gonna probably look at this, start back on this tomorrow afternoon, probably like 4 or 5 o'clock, and then we will get the rest of these parts done and some other stuff. So thanks for stopping by, and maybe I'll see you tomorrow. And it didn't raid. Did it not raid? Did not raid. Oh, there we go.